No one saw this coming. Caryn Chandler, the longtime girlfriend of Matt Roloff, now finds herself at the center of shocking allegations. Whispers of an arrest, secret legal maneuvers, and Amy Roloff's supposed involvement have fans absolutely stunned. The Roloff family has faced their fair share of scandals, feuds, breakups, heartbreaks, and endless speculation. But this time, things feel different. This isn't just about another family disagreement or a farm dispute. This is about a possible legal trap that may have been quietly set in motion behind the scenes, and the person accused of pulling the strings might just surprise you. What started as whispers on social media has now exploded into one of the most talked about controversies in Little People, Big World history. Fans are demanding answers, tabloids are spinning theories, and insiders are hinting that something much deeper is going on between Amy, Matt, and Caryn. Could it be true that Amy Roloff, the family matriarch known for her resilience and grace, played a hidden role in Caryn's current troubles? Or is this all just a cruel twist of gossip gone too far? Today, we're diving deep into the shocking claims, alleged legal documents, and emotional reactions tearing through the Roloff fanbase. We'll uncover where the rumor began, how it spread, and why fans believe this could mark the final breaking point in an already fragile family dynamic. But before we unpack this emotional roller coaster, we need to rewind, because this story didn't start with an arrest rumor. It started years ago, with jealousy, heartbreak, and a battle for control over the Roloff legacy. And to understand what's happening now, we have to revisit the moment everything between Amy and Caryn truly began to unravel. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The rumor of Caryn Chandler's arrest first began circulating online after several fan pages claimed she had been detained following a property dispute involving Roloff Farms. Although no official record confirmed the claim, the speculation spread like wildfire. Within hours, the story was being shared across Reddit threads, Facebook fan groups, and even YouTube gossip channels dedicated to the Roloff family. Some claimed Caryn had been involved in an altercation with a former employee. Others said it was linked to a long-brewing dispute over ownership rights tied to the farm's sale. But what really fueled the fire was Caryn's own silence. Fans quickly noticed that she had gone completely dark on Instagram. No new posts, no stories, not even her usual comments under Matt's updates. For someone who typically shared snippets of her daily life, that sudden quiet sparked intense speculation. Meanwhile, Matt Roloff's social media behavior also took a strange turn. Known for his upbeat posts about farm projects and pumpkin season, Matt suddenly shifted to vague, reflective captions, things like, "Every season brings new challenges," and "Trusting the process." It didn't take long before fans started connecting dots that may or may not have been there. At the same time, Amy Roloff, Matt's ex-wife and Caryn's longtime rival, seemed oddly cheerful online. She posted photos of cozy dinners with her husband Chris, cheerful baking videos, and lighthearted reflections on gratitude. For many fans, that contrast, Amy's happiness versus Caryn's sudden vanishing act, felt too perfectly timed to ignore. Some began suggesting that Amy might have been involved in a secret legal action against Caryn. Was it possible that Amy had filed a complaint or triggered some kind of legal process that Caryn didn't see coming? The whispers turned into bold claims. Comments flooded Amy's posts with lines like, "Did you finally get justice, Amy? And we know what you did, good for you." Meanwhile, others rushed to Caryn's defense, arguing that she had been unfairly painted as the villain ever since her relationship with Matt became public. One fan wrote, "Caryn, been blamed for everything from the farm feud to the family breakup. People are just waiting for a reason to attack her again." The fanbase was clearly divided, some cheering the rumor, others pleading for the truth. Part of what made these arrest rumors so believable to some people is the Roloff family's long history of private tension and public drama. For years, viewers of Little People, Big World have watched the delicate balance between Matt, Amy, and Caryn. Even after Amy remarried and moved off the farm, the shadow of that triangle never really disappeared. On-screen interactions between Amy and Caryn have always felt carefully polite. Underneath the smiles, there was tension, small gestures, side glances, and remarks that left fans wondering how deep the animosity really went. And when you add the ongoing farm feud to that mix, with Zach and Tori walking away from the property, Jeremy and Audrey choosing independence, and Matt announcing plans to sell portions of Roloff Farms, the emotional powder keg only grew stronger. To many fans, Caryn represented the new chapter that tore apart the old family unity. So when the arrest rumors hit, they struck a nerve. It wasn't just about legal trouble, it symbolized a shift in power, a kind of poetic justice that some viewers, fairly or not, felt was long overdue. On social media, amateur investigators began digging deeper. Some claimed to have seen court filings in Oregon that mentioned Caryn's name, though none of these were verified. Others said her car was spotted outside the Washington County Courthouse. Reddit threads popped up with titles like Caryn Chandler arrested, Here, What We Know, filled with screenshots, theories, and supposed eyewitness accounts. But none of it could be confirmed. As one user put it, there's a lot of smoke, but where's the fire? Meanwhile, Caryn's friends and close supporters stayed silent. Even TLC representatives and production staff for Little People, Big World refused to comment. That silence, intentional or not, only added more fuel to the speculation. Fans argued that if the rumor wasn't true, Caryn could easily have cleared it up with a single Instagram post. But she didn't. And in the world of reality TV, silence can sometimes speak louder than words. Some insiders even claimed that Amy and Caryn's tension had reached a breaking point in recent months, that disagreements over the farm's sale and over Matt's plans for the property had turned into more than just personal squabbles. According to one theory, Amy felt betrayed when Caryn began inserting herself into farm-related decisions, something Amy once considered her family legacy. Whether that anger ever crossed into legal action is pure speculation, but the timing of Caryn's disappearance certainly made fans wonder. By this point, the rumor had evolved beyond control. YouTube creators were making detailed timeline videos, fan blogs were piecing together quotes and reactions from years of the show. Some even brought up Caryn's controversial history, particularly her departure from Roloff Farms staff years ago amid reported complaints. That, combined with her relationship with Matt, gave skeptics plenty of ammunition. It wasn't hard for the narrative of an arrest to feel plausible, especially when surrounded by mystery. And then there was the emotional element, the deep division in how fans perceive Caryn. To her supporters, she's a loyal partner who stood by Matt through health scares and business setbacks. To her critics, she's the outsider who disrupted the Roloff family dynamic. So when the words Caryn Chandler arrested began trending, each side saw it through their own lens, either as vindication or as another unfair attack. Still, in all the noise, there was one glaring truth. No official record, police statement, or court document ever supported the arrest claim. Oregon's public records remained quiet, yet the lack of evidence didn't stop the rumor mill. In fact, it only made people more suspicious, because in the world of reality television, secrets are often kept until the cameras are rolling. So, what really happened? Was Caryn simply taking a break from the spotlight? Was she dealing with personal matters behind the scenes? Or is there a deeper story, one that involves Amy, Matt, and the tangled history of Roloff Farms? Whatever the case, this chapter in the Roloff saga has reminded everyone of one thing. When it comes to Little People, Big World, even silence can create a storm. As the story deepens, many fans have begun to revisit one question that's been whispered about ever since Caryn Chandler stepped into the Roloff family spotlight. Did Amy Roloff somehow play a quiet but strategic role in the legal chaos that seems to surround Caryn today? According to circulating theories, Amy might have used her lingering influence from her years as co-owner of Roloff Farms, or even specific contractual language tied to her buyout deal, to create what some online commentators call a legal trap. Something subtle, something buried in paperwork, but powerful enough to cause a ripple effect later. The core of this rumor stems from Amy's long history with the Roloff property. For decades, that land wasn't just a business, it was her home, her identity, and her family's foundation. When she finally sold her portion of the farm to Matt, many fans felt the pain behind her decision. On Little People, Big World, she even said, "I'm closing a chapter I never thought would end." So when Caryn, Matt's girlfriend, appeared to take on more responsibility in managing and marketing the farm afterward, the optics were complicated, to say the least. Some fans believe that this transition, though business on the surface, was emotionally charged beneath it. They argue that Amy, while outwardly supportive, may have harbored feelings of betrayal or loss. That emotion, they say, could have translated into a series of legal safeguards, a kind of insurance policy meant to protect her from being cut out completely, or to prevent any rebranding of Roloff Farms that erased her name from its legacy. In one online fan forum, a user claimed that Amy still held minor rights connected to Roloff Farms' image and merchandising, particularly anything linked to the Little People, Big World branding. While no public record confirms this, the idea caught fire because it ties directly into the alleged trap. If Caryn ever used the Roloff name for business or marketing purposes without full permission, that could, at least theoretically, trigger a contractual dispute. Others took the theory even further, suggesting that Amy's supposed influence might have surfaced during property disputes or state filings related to new farm developments. There's talk about zoning issues, liability paperwork, and even event permits that somehow stalled after Caryn became more publicly involved. Could Amy have had something to do with that, or is it simply coincidence? Still, we need to be clear. There's no concrete evidence that Amy ever took legal action against Caryn or used her past ownership to manipulate any outcome. What does exist is a pattern of speculation rooted in emotion. Fans saw a woman who gave decades to her family farm, only to watch another woman step in beside her ex-husband and continue the very legacy she helped build. It's easy to see how people connected those dots, even if reality might tell a simpler story. In emotional terms, the theory makes sense. Amy has always been deeply tied to that land, both physically and symbolically. When she married Chris Merrick, she even chose to hold her wedding on that same property where so many of her memories with Matt were made. That decision alone reignited old feelings among fans, who wondered whether she'd truly let go or whether part of her was still bound to that place and everything it represented. And this is where the so-called legal trap theory becomes less about paperwork and more about psychology. Maybe the real trap wasn't legal at all, maybe it was emotional. Because every move Caryn makes on the farm, every update Matt posts about its renovations, is, in a way, a continuation of Amy's past. For someone who's worked so hard to move forward, that can't be easy. Yet for all the speculation, those close to Amy describe her as anything but vindictive. Friends say she's kind, deeply loyal, and often puts others before herself. Even during her divorce, she spoke about forgiveness and healing. In one of her interviews, she said, "You can't change what happened, but you can choose how you respond." That doesn't sound like someone plotting revenge. It sounds like someone trying to move on. So why do these theories keep resurfacing? Because as fans, we're drawn to stories of rivalry, redemption, and revenge, especially when they involve familiar faces. The Amy versus Caryn narrative taps into those emotions perfectly. Two women connected by the same man, the same land, and the same television legacy. It's the stuff of reality TV legend. But even legends have limits. Without verified documents or statements, the idea of Amy laying a legal trap remains just that, an idea. What's undeniable, though, is that the emotional and financial intersections between Amy, Matt, and Caryn are complex. They've all built and rebuilt their lives on the same patch of Oregon soil. And when emotions, money, and fame collide, misunderstandings are almost guaranteed. Whether Amy truly played a hand in any behind-the-scenes legal moves, or whether it's all just fan fiction, one thing, for sure, the rumors have reshaped how many viewers see the Roloff family today. What once looked like a clean break between exes now appears layered, strategic, and emotionally loaded. And as Caryn continues to face scrutiny over her rumored arrest and legal troubles, Amy's name keeps reappearing in the background, not necessarily as an accuser or ally, but as a silent reminder of everything that came before. At the end of the day, no one truly knows what happens behind the Roloff family's closed doors. What's clear is that fame, legacy, and love have all collided, leaving behind a tangled web of emotions, decisions, and rumors that may never be fully untangled. For nearly 2 decades, Little People, Big World has given fans a front-row seat to the triumphs and trials of a family unlike any other. From farm feuds and marriages to heartbreak and healing, the Roloffs' story has always been about resilience. Whether the recent arrest rumors hold any truth or not, they serve as a sobering reminder of how quickly speculation can spread in the world of reality TV. One whisper turns into a headline, and before long, a private matter becomes a public storm. Amy Roloff, Caryn Chandler, and Matt Roloff may not always see eye to eye, but each of them has been part of a story that inspired millions to believe that differences don't have to divide, they can define. The fans, too, have played a massive role in that journey. Through every disagreement and every celebration, viewers have stood by this family, hoping not for perfection, but for peace. Because deep down, that's what everyone wants for the Roloffs: peace, healing, and maybe even a new beginning. So, as we close this chapter of speculation and emotion, let's remember that behind every headline are real people, with hearts, histories, and hopes of their own. No matter what happens next, whether new episodes arrive or the family moves further from the spotlight, the Roloffs' impact on reality television and their fans will always be remembered. They've taught us that family, no matter how complicated, is worth fighting for. And perhaps that's the message that truly matters. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for being part of this ongoing journey with the Roloff family. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep believing that every story, no matter how messy, has room for grace.